Stop lying to yourself. You aren't waiting for motivation. You are hiding from the fear of failure behind a curtain of not feeling ready. But here is the brutal truth. Motivation is a myth, invented by people who want to feel good about being lazy. And until you realize that your feelings are a liability, not an asset, you will keep running in the same circles for the rest of your life. You sit at your desk, you stare at that blank screen, and you wait. You're waiting for a spark, a mood shift, or a sign from the universe. But that spark is a lie. If you only move when you feel like it, you have effectively handed the steering wheel of your life over to your fleeting, unreliable emotions. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to hijack your own biology. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I promise you will never look at your to-do list the same way again. Let's be honest. What happens when you wait? You open your browser, you check your email, you scroll through social media just to get your head in the right place. An hour passes. Now you're stressed. The guilt kicks in. That guilt drains your energy, making the task feel even harder than it was at the start. This is the waiting loop. It's a self-inflicted prison. You are trying to use your brain to feel your way into action. But your brain is a survival machine. It's wired for one thing: energy conservation. Your brain hates hard tasks. It views starting as a threat, so it manufactures excuses to keep you safe in your comfort zone. If you are waiting for your brain to say, "Yes, let's do this difficult thing," you are going to be waiting forever. Ask yourself this: how many times have you waited for the mood and actually achieved something massive? Exactly. It doesn't work. Here is the biological secret most people get backwards. We think that motivation leads to action, but in reality, action leads to motivation. Think of it like a car engine. You don't wait for the car to start moving before you turn the ignition, right? The ignition is the action. When you take the first step, even if it's a tiny, shaky step, your brain receives a hit of dopamine. That dopamine is the fuel that creates the feeling of motivation. You are waiting for the reward to start the work, but your neurochemistry demands that you do the work to trigger the reward. It's a paradox, and as long as you're stuck in it, you're losing. So how do we hack this? We use what I call micro-commitment psychology. The brain is evolutionarily terrified of the mountain. When you frame a task as, "I need to write this entire book," or "I need to build this entire business," your brain perceives a massive threat of exhaustion. It sees a huge energy bill it doesn't want to pay. But what if you told yourself, "I will just open the file and write one sentence"? That is a trivial, low-energy cost. Your brain says, "Fine, I can do that." Let's look at some real-world applications. Creative writing. If you need to write an article, don't aim for the full 2,000 words. Aim to write just the title and the first sentence. Once the file is open and your fingers are moving, the hardest part, breaking the silence, is already over. Physical fitness. If you are dreading a workout, don't think about 60 minutes of sweat and intensity. Tell yourself you are only going to change into your gym clothes and do 5 minutes of stretching. Often, once you're in the gear, the mountain becomes a gentle hill, and you'll find yourself finishing the whole session. Financial and professional tasks. If you are avoiding a complex tax return or a difficult email, just set a timer for 2 minutes. Find the necessary documents, or write the subject line. By reducing the entry price of the task, you remove the brain's defensive resistance. By doing this, You trigger the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain has a natural cognitive need to finish what you've started. Once you're in motion, staying in motion is 90% easier than starting from a dead stop. You have bypassed your brain's defense mechanism and tricked yourself into being productive. The true beauty of this is that it strips away the ego. You stop asking, "Am I in the mood to do this?" and start asking, "Can I manage the next 2 minutes?" It turns productivity into a mechanical process rather than an emotional one. You stop being a victim of your fluctuating moods and start becoming an architect of your own momentum. Many people fail in life not because they lack talent, vision, or potential, but because they lack the ability to move when they don't feel like it. They confuse their current state of mind with their capacity for action. Ultimately, the most successful people in the world are not the ones who feel more motivated than you. They are the ones who have simply stopped waiting for the feeling to show up. They have mastered the art of doing it anyway. When you stop treating your internal state as the boss and start treating your schedule as the commander, you regain absolute control. You don't need a massive burst of inspiration. You just need to win the next 2 minutes. I'm going to ask you for something right now. Identify one thing you have been putting off for more than 3 days. Right now, when this video ends, you are not allowed to save it for later. You are going to do that one thing for exactly 2 minutes. If you want to stop after 2 minutes, you are free to go. But I know you won't. Because once the friction is gone, you'll find the motivation you were looking for all along. If you're ready to stop waiting and start winning, drop a comment below with the word "started." It holds you accountable. I'll be reading them. Now, stop watching this. Go open that file and get to work.